let's get to building. So where I stopped, got my backpack, got my torso, got my head. I need to start working on leg units. ASAP. So we need, looks like J. We need some polycaps. We need G. Got all of my colored armor pieces over here in bags, labeled individually, like E light red, E yellow. And I will go through. This one is actually just a couple of pieces of the leg frame that fell off of the runners in the box. So when I opened up the bags, they were just hanging out, kind of chilling. Had to go through and figure out where they were from. And I found them, just put them aside because I knew where to get them. I'm getting all my leftover runners out here. Got my little runner holder set up over here. Not perfect, but it works. So we need J1 and 2. We need polycaps. Let's do this. J1. J2. Got J1 and J2 hanging out, doing it big. Alright. We need number 9 and number 8 from both of these units. We're going to go through here, find where they are. 8 and 9, there. One of them is one of the pieces that fell off. So, when you go in, and you're cutting for like the least amount of, I guess, deformation in the nub, I always try to cut a little far back, A, and B, never do what I just did, push on the part like that. B, try to give the runner a little flex so they don't, the thickness of the cutters here, it makes up for it, and you tend to get less of a stress mark initially. Now you will get a little tiny bit of a stress mark no matter what you do, but we have ways to mitigate that as much as we can. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get all of these cut out. What I do here, like, see how this is the first cut of this unit. So you're going to want to put the flat of the blades towards the actual piece, and then you can pull apart as you cut. As you cut. Try to get these guys out as cleanly as possible. When you have that little number tab there, it makes it kind of hard. You go right at like this. Alright, now those there. Into this little baggie, because that is where the other side is. It was the same part from both runners that fell off. Now I need polycap 5 twice. There's polycap 5 right here. I'm gonna have to fling pieces everywhere. Now polycaps, you really don't have to worry about. You can cut them right up to where the actual nub meets the injection line from the front. Those cut out. Polycaps aside there. Now we get the finishers, and I still go over the polycaps just to make sure they've got a little smooth edge right there. If they're pretty good as is, I just leave them alone, but if they need a little love, I always give them a little nip. That one needs a little love. I don't know if my phone camera will be able to actually see the nub on that, but it's extremely small. I apologize, William isn't here for this part of the build. He's with his grandma, hanging out, having some family time. Got the house to myself, so I figured I would do a little bit of a build. Okay, got polycaps looking good. I think I cleaned these up as much as I could, but it was not perfect. See if I can get a little more of that out. One of the cool things about this particular type of nip is you can kind of use the extremely sharp blade almost as if you would use a hobby knife like this. You can kind of just get it in there, get it at the right angle, and scrape it across that nub, that nib, that little nub mark, whatever we want to call them, the connection point to the runner, and it will shave off at the same level in which the blade is being pushed across. So if you have a flat surface, it's extremely easy to do so, like on a big flat spot like that, or a big flat spot like that. It's really, really easy. But it's a lot more difficult to do on a little nub like that. So when you've got a little one like that, you're going to want to line up the blade, the cutter, because this has a cutting blade and it also has a stop, like a blade stop blade. This one has almost no edge. Like you couldn't cut yourself on that if you tried. There's a little bit of a like 90 degree where they sanded it flat for the bottom, but the actual cutting surface is literally like a flat face. This, however, is extremely sharp, which is very easy to glide through this plastic, and it tends to leave almost no stress mark behind when you cut very slowly and you cut correctly with these, because since it's a single blade nipper, it does have that little tiny bit of an edge on the bottom. If you just go flat up against the surface and try to nip, you're gonna get a diagonally, like angled nib left over. You have to find a way where you can use the blade as it's intended. You're going to want to put the stop blade on an edge surface like that, and then you can bring the cutting blade across that edge surface at a completely flush level to make contact with the nib. And at that point it'll cut it flush, and it won't really leave a stress mark. There'll always be a little tiny bit of a stress mark in the dark plastics, no matter what you do. Unless you cut way far back and sand down, which like can happen, but if you're gonna paint or you're gonna do any kind of detailing over it, like really the nub mark is gonna kind of blend into the background anyway, so it doesn't matter too much to me personally, as long as I get as much as I can off of the unit just as I'm cutting it out of the runner and getting it trimmed up here. Like for instance, that pretty damn good, not perfect, but it is. I don't know if it's even focusing, but I mean it's a little tiny bit of a deflection, but nothing compared to what you would get with just using a pair of, you know, regular Mr. Tools like runner cutters, like the blue guys over here. You're gonna get a lot more stretch. You're gonna get a lot more white mark. You're gonna get a lot more of a deflection of what your material is supposed to look like. Did a big boo-boo. So I was trying to line up, didn't line up, talking, and accidentally cut into the plastic there. So what I do in that case, this is 2000 grit sandpaper, and I just go over a little bit, because this is one of the weird intermediary levels. It doesn't have it in the sanding sticks. They jump from 800 up to 4000, I believe. So I have that over there because it actually makes pretty quick work of just little tiny sections of plastic like this. And if you can make pretty quick work of little tiny sections like that, you can make the whole process go quick. Now, if I tried to use the 4000, it would work, but it would take twice as long, and that might not seem like a lot per individual piece, but if you add that up over hundreds of pieces, or if you're doing a bigger or like more intricate kit, potentially thousands of pieces, it really starts to show on little bits of time-saving advice. Now, keep in mind this is literally the first thing I've ever put on film, so if I'm doing stuff off camera and don't realize it, please bear with me. I'm gonna get better at this. It's the first time. I just kind of wanted to do something to document me and William building this stuff and bonding over it. He's got specific kits that are literally his, and he's going to do everything on them, from nipping out of the runners to clicking together to putting his quote-unquote paint on it, which is just, you know, metallic Sharpies, but I'm gonna let him paint it. And then I've got kits that are basically for me to build and him to just kind of watch and help me with. And then I've got other kits that I have in the works that are going to be probably things that he can't help with, like perfect grade style stuff, or doing the like metal modifications to some of the Master Grade kits. Like he's just still too young to use a pin vise and drill. He's too young to use a airbrush, for instance, and stuff like that. So he does it how he can, but we make it work. Now, so per the instructions here, I'm going to want to take one of these doohickeys and one of these doohickeys, and they're going to kind of line up like that, but we need a polycap sitting in here that's got a hole right there in the butt. That's got a nit or a pin right there. And it also seems like it lines up. It does, yeah. It lines up with a couple of slots in the bottom of the foot here. So you're gonna want to make sure that's all lined up. And you're gonna push them together. And then you have the first part of that piece. Now that I kind of feel like I did backwards. It might be easier if you just do one of these here. Pop that bad boy right there. And then you can put this together like so, and you don't really have to worry about it as much. It's right in the right proper position it's supposed to be in. Get these parts to seat fully. A little tiny bit of a sandy sand on that one. Make sure everything's even. Now, I've got those two pieces done. So, what's next here? I need J1 and 2, number 25. I need a couple of G pieces, and I need an E piece. So I need 25 from both of these bad boys right here, which I will proceed to do. 25, which is this little guy right here. So I'm going to actually start with the shittiest piece to cut, which is this little guy right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to see if I can cut back here, back on the runner. Keep the piece from getting any stress on that piece. There we go. So that just popped right down like that. Good to go. Happy days. I can go ahead and cut over here. Expand these as I go. And the last one is there. Alright, that'll drop right out. Got number 25 out. I'm going to put this guy over to the side because I don't need him anymore right now. Got number 25 right here as well. So what I'm going to do is just do the same idea. Try to keep it as flat as possible on the actual part surface. It didn't work quite as well, but I mean, put the effort in anyway. Why not? We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Get that guy out. Put that right there, and that guy over here. So now we're going to do a little trim on this. Whip. But you see how there's a little lip underneath here. You can kind of set these with the blade on the surface you need cut, and then it cuts just extremely well. Extremely well. Better than anything I've seen in all of my years of hobby making and doing this. They're awesome. It's crazy. That being said, if you get a pair of these, make sure that you adjust the stop. You always want to adjust the stop, because I don't know what happened with the light there, because this keeps you from putting too much pressure on this little tiny thin, very hard blade. So it's just better to make sure that you're doing that instead of waiting. Now let's see here. I don't know why my light is turning on and off. I'm gonna have to get a better option for lighting here. Let me see if I can move this a little better to see